Hello and welcome to my FIFA 19 new leagues wish list. It's important to know that this is essentially a short list for the leagues. Not every single league that I feel should be added will be in here because we want to try and keep it as short and snappy as possible. So do let me know what other leagues you feel should be in this list and should be in FIFA 19 next year. As I say, this is just my personal pick of the bunch. Just before we get into it, just want to let you know that I've currently got another wishlist series going on my channel, a FIFA 19 career mode wishlist. So if you haven't already, please do go check that out. I've got part 1 and 2 already out as of time of recording this. Part 3 might be out by the time you're watching this, who knows. But nevertheless, do go check that out. And now without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'll start off with arguably the most highly demanded league that FIFA fans want to see added into FIFA, and that is the Chinese Super League. Now, it's perfectly obvious why we're seeing a lot of stars leave Europe's top leagues, top teams to go to the Chinese Super League, and extortionate amounts of money on offer, both in terms of transfer fees and wages. So I think it's only natural for the FIFA fans to want this to be added. The Chinese national team was actually introduced on FIFA 17, I believe. But the thing is, all the players of the Chinese national team in career mode are on the free agency list because their clubs aren't on the game. So it seems like the logical next step for EA to now introduce the Chinese Super League so that they can now be at clubs rather than just floating about on the free agency. Next up is two leagues coupled with each other, and that is the Serie C, or Leisure Pro if you prefer, and also the Segunda Division B. Now, for those who don't know, the Serie C is essentially the third tier of Italian football, but it's split into 3 sections: Serie C A, Serie C B, Serie C. And then the Segunda Division B is the third tier of Spanish football. Now, this is once again a career mode thing, really. For years and years, we've had either Serie B, Serie A, or also the La Liga, now known as 1, 2, 3, and also the La Liga. And it's just getting a bit boring now, to be fair. We want new challenges, we want to go lower down, because if you start as a team in Serie B, for example, you get one promotion, you're already in the top division. We've already seen this added last year in FIFA 18 with the Bundesliga 3. They've actually added that in now, and that's added a new dimension to the German league. So now we want to see that implemented more worldwide, starting off with Europe's top divisions as well, with Italy and Spain. Next up is the Vanarama National League. This is the 5th tier of the English football pyramid, and I know this is commonly asked for from people, especially career mode players, on top of fans of teams in that division. We now want to go to the next step. The League 2 to Premier League journey has sort of been done, and it's getting a bit repetitive now. We want something else, and I think to be able to now take control of possibly semi-pro teams, because in the National League, if you don't know, there's roughly about 75% of the teams in there are professional and the rest are semi-pro. So I think it would be even more of a challenge, more of an interesting one at that, to take charge of a semi-professional team in that division and then try and take them to the top, and also manage the change of semi-pro to pro once you reach the Football League, because the requirements in the Football League state that every team has to be professional. So I think this would be really good, and this is similar to the Chinese League. It's a logical next step, but in this pathway instead. 5th on the shortlist falls to the Ukrainian Premier League. Now, for the majority of people, they ask for this because they want to play as Shakhtar, and if they play as Shakhtar, the only options they've got are to play in kick-off mode, or they can go on to head-to-head seasons, play online. But if they want to play in Korea, they'll have to transfer them to another division and then use the current customised squads, which doesn't work as much because you can't download latest, and it ends up messing up slightly. So they want the Ukrainian Premier League because then they can play Shakhtar in career mode, and it can be a more realistic and fun representation. But on top of that, there are a lot of other good teams in there. The likes of Dynamo Kiev, Olympic Donetsk, Zoya Luhansk. So I think it's a really interesting option, and also it adds another dimension to the Europa League and the Champions League in career mode as well, because you've got more teams who can then go into it from different nations rather than using the same generic ones. So I think EA should definitely look into this as well. Next up on the list is the Greek Super League. Now, quite simply, EA have arguably the 4 best / biggest clubs in the Greek divisions on the game in Olympiakos, PAOK, Panathinaikos and AEK Athens, but they don't have a league. What's the point in having those 4 teams on there if you can't use them in the most popular offline mode, career mode? You might as well just put the league in there. So I think EA should definitely look into this as well. I'm surprised that it hasn't already been added, to be honest. Like I say, it seems really pointless that they'd have those 4 teams and not be able to use them in career mode without having to start messing with the squads and what have you. So yeah, I'd really like to see this added as well. And last but not least, I'd like to see a rest of Europe league. Now, rather than the rest of world sort of division, which we already have, which is quite limited, I'd like to see it split into different continents. But the Europe one in particular, I feel is important because there's a lot of teams in the continental competitions which aren't in the game, which I feel should be. And even if you couldn't use this in career mode, but I think it would be an interesting option if you could have this in career mode, even in the download latest squads. You could still use it on kickoff and Ultimate Team, etc. in seasons, because there's a lot of teams that aren't featured in the game. Big sides as well, which really should. And I'm thinking of the likes of, maybe the Belgrade teams or Hajduk Split. And if you aren't going to add the ones that I've mentioned previously, like the Ukrainian League and the Greek Super League, you can put those teams that are already on the game into this division as well. And that would help with, as I say, the continental competitions, and just adds more teams. So, why not? There's a lot of big teams that aren't being included in the game that really deserve to be in the title. So, yeah, I'd like to see that as well. And on that note, that brings this video to a close. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike and tell me what I can do to improve. I'm always open to suggestions and rooms for improvement. Please subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate it. Just to let you know, as I said earlier on in the video, I've got a career mode wish list. Currently 2 parts out as of recording this. 3rd, maybe a 4th yet to come. We'll wait and see. Also a Bristol Rovers career mode save. I've done 4 episodes of that so far, so go check that out. And also an Ultimate Team feature as well. I buy the lowest rated team in the entire of Ultimate Team and try and win a game with it. So yeah, go and check that out if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Bromo18, and I will see you next time.